My name is Pragya Jain, but everyone knows me as PJ, and my major is product design, and my minor is reimagining tomorrow through arts and sciences, which is a part of honors program within Willem de Kooning Academy, and I am graduating today, and yeah. I felt like it's the first time at the Academy in which we could develop a project out of just our interests, so to speak. So that's where we kind of like have the ability to really explore what we really want to do as an individual, and in this context as a designer. Can I highlight the convergence between art and science? And prior to my education at Willem de Kooning Academy, I studied physics, and it was kind of like this project in one way or the other is kind of also like an ode to my sort of nerdy physics self. And based upon that, I started diving into the theory of optics. And since the theory of optics is super broad, I decided to sort of like pick a very small but very significant part of it, which is the spectrum of light. So I think it had been like 4 or 5 months long trajectory of me being in the basement of block building and just like going crazy with optical instruments and like lasers, and just trying to decipher like how the diffraction patterns actually work and what they do for me. So going back to the moment in which I felt like this is not going to work, it was pretty much every single week. Because for the with material experiments, sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like it's crazy. Am I wasting material? Am I wasting time? Am I wasting someone else's time? Or like, where do I go forward from this? Because I tend to question myself a lot. I feel like I'm my biggest critic. I think the biggest moment I felt really discouraged was, I think, those 5-7 days before my exam, when I had one of the last meetings with my supervisor, and he was like, PJ, you're doing great material experiments, but you need to pick one if you want to graduate and like develop that one further. I just sat down and I just realized that I have so much. I just have so much content in so many different media, and what am I gonna do with it? Pick one experiment and develop that further. And so that whole day, and also a couple of days after that, I had just been like, yeah, in sort of like in the black hole of my head, because I felt like there are like these transparent walls that you just can't walk out of, and they're transparent, so you're constantly bashing your head on them. So after like literally wasting 2 to 3 days on just like contemplating and like trying to plan and this and that, I was just like, in that moment in time, I was quite happy with my research paper. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna read my research paper. And I read my research paper, and then I had sort of like this epiphany that night. And I realized that there's this diagram I had made, which is called the Archaeology of Knowledge Through Transdisciplinary Convergence of a Convex lens ray diagram. And so my installation is really like a metaphorical materialization of that diagrammatic explanation I did. I almost cried after it. Like, it was really fascinating, because that diagram is such a significant part of my entire research and this entire process. And I'm just so proud of it. I think that one diagram is something that is so powerful in this whole, it's something so powerful that I created in this whole period, that even like my installation or my theoretical research doesn't do justice to it. Well, so far, the experiences that people are having with my work that I saw is, the first thing that they do is like, they take the blue laser that I give them and they go like, whoa! And then it's like for a good 3 minutes, they're just playing with the laser, like, and just understanding what's happening there. And then they're like, so what is actually happening? And then it's that whoa and what is what I'm looking for. I believe, similar to the spectrum of light, there's also a spectrum of professional positionality in which scientists and artists and designers seem to lie on opposing ends. And my work is all about how these opposing ends of the spectrum can actually converge. So it's not really a linear spectrum, it's a spherical spectrum. As researchers, in essence, we can use both scientific methods and artistic methods to combine and just produce work and just see where it takes us in a way.